Hello team, welcome to this live. I'm going to get straight in today with how to make December your biggest month ever. Now you might be like, Sarah, we're nearly halfway through the month. How can I possibly make it the biggest month ever? Simple. You decide to make it your biggest month ever. Hey, you can make that decision. And so yes, we're going to come into some strategy pieces on this training, but first of all, we are going to get you into the mindset and the self-belief that you're going to make it your biggest month ever. You have the power to decide. I want to take you a little, mosquito. And so last December, I'd not long moved to Bali. There'd been a lot of change. I was settling into my new routine. So like income was okay, but it wasn't anything groundbreaking. But at the start of December, I was like, right, we are about to skyrocket. I know there's a few things that I did, and that's why I want to come and talk to you today, both on things that I did last year to make December my biggest month ever in business to date at that time, but how you can implement those things this month to make December your biggest month ever. And so the first piece is you have to decide that that's going to happen. You have to get yourself into that Delulu mindset to be like, I'm fucking doing this, and be dead serious with yourself. You have the power to change everything today. But most people will listen to this training and be like, oh, but, and give some reason why they can't. Hey! And they might come up with an excuse or, oh, that can't happen for me, or blah, 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 blah. And if you're the person that finds excuses for why it won't work, then it won't. Simple as. But if you're the person that says, how can I make it work? So rather than, here's why it won't, how can I make it work? Because even if it hasn't happened before, and you're setting yourself a goal that you've never hit before, when you ask yourself, how can I make it happen? It becomes a question. It becomes something for your brain to problem solve to figure out how to get to the end result, rather than a stumbling block of saying, I can't, or I haven't, or I've never done that before. That's a statement. That's a fact that you're telling yourself, it's a blockade. Is that the right word? Yeah. It's a stumbling block. You're telling yourself and your brain that you can't. Whereas when you switch it around and say, how can I? Then there's possibility. Then there's opportunity. And your brain has to go into, okay, well, if I was going to make this my biggest month ever, physically strategically, how would I get there? So whether you're someone that's working on like 10K month, 15K month, 20K month, whatever your goal is, literally get a pen and paper and sit down and be like, if I was going for December to be my first 20K month, what would I have to sell? And how many clients would I have to enroll in order to hit that goal? Let's just get super basic. A lot of people don't sit down with their own numbers and actually figure out what it would take to hit the goals that they want to hit. Glad that you're loving this. Welcome. Here's your morning pep talk on a Thursday morning. Like, let's get it done. You're going to turn everything around. You can absolutely make December your biggest month ever. So literally sit down, good old pen and paper, switch all the screens off, switch all the noise off, get off social media. Write down what do you currently offer? What do you currently have? Look at your highest ticket offers first, because obviously if you're going for your biggest month ever, it makes sense to work at the top. If you've got like monthly membership or low ticket offer, these aren't going to be the ones, yes, you can still sell these throughout December, but these aren't going to be the ones that you focus with, because if you're going for the high numbers, start with your high ticket offers. Purely logistics from the amount of people that you want to be bringing into your world and the amount of sales conversations you're going to have, makes far more sense to be pitching a 5K offer than a £50 offer, or dollars, whatever your currency is. So from a purely logistics point of view, what offers are going to be your focus point for now? What makes sense to offer now? Look at what your highest ticket offers are. Look at what you could be pre-booking for 2024. Can you be taking deposits now for work that starts, or programs that start in 2024 for January, February, March? So what can you be pre-selling for next year now? What can you be taking deposits for? High ticket offers, have you got either a certain number of dates or a certain number of slots left available? Again, think about like urgency. What makes sense to sell and close in this month that either the same level of urgency or the same pricing won't be available in January? Little strategic thing there. But I knew that I'd do this. I've ventured into strategy already. Let me bring you back to step one. Step one is your mindset and your self-belief. You have to believe that this is going to be your biggest month ever. And so taking you back to my own story last December, I entered the month and it was going to be like a, I don't know, I'd say like 4K month, maybe. And I was just like, I am ready for so much more. I know I'm capable of more. I know that this could be amazing. But I also know that if I continue to move in the way that I have, I will continue to get the results that I've had. That, if I could stop this live here and be like, that was a piece of gold. If I continue to move in the way that I have, I will continue to get the results that I've had. That is a quote. Put that on your wall. I might turn that into a reel. But it absolutely applies. If you want results that you've never had, you're going to have to move in the way that you never have. So, your first is your decision to move differently. How are you going to move differently? I would encourage you at this point, what is something that is either been on your mind for a little while, that is the decision that you've been stalling on? Maybe it's that coach that you've been following, maybe it's a group program, maybe it's a mastermind. What is something that you know is a space that you've been looking at that you're like, it would stretch me to be bigger. It's gonna make me a little bit uncomfortable, but it's going to call me to rise. What is that thing for you? Because everybody has it, you'll know. So what is that space? Or maybe you've been looking for a space, but you haven't found the right person yet. Again, think about what is a space that you could get yourself into now that is going to make you play bigger. Because if for as long as you are just floating around in between, you don't have that same level of activation. So what is something that is going to make you move? And it's got to be bigger than just you. You've got to be accountable to someone else other than just you. Because if you're only accountable to you, then, on the days where, if tomorrow you wake up and you don't feel like it, well, you just won't. I hope that that's not the case. But the point is, when you decide to move bigger, whether that's investing in a coach, in a mentor, in a program, in a mastermind, when you decide to play at your edge, you have to move different. And so taking you back to my start of December last year, I'd floated through okay months. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I don't need help, but I want it. I desire it. And here is where the up level comes. Nobody's saying that you need help, but when you invest in a place that is going to stretch who you currently are, you're going to have to become that level of person. Because all of a sudden you're in a space where you're just like, shit! And it's going to activate the hell out of you. And you're going to wake up energized and excited and like living at the edge of your comfort zone. And this is where change happens. Yes, we can come on to the strategy of what you're going to sell and how you're going to sell it. But are you living at the edge of your comfort zone, or are you choosing to stay where you've been and where is comfortable and where is safe? Because if you continue to stay there, you will continue to get the results that you've been getting. So... get among people who are going to activate the hell out of you. Yes, I'm telling you, invest now for your 2024. Invest now. Make an investment in December for your 2024 self, because when you invest in a coach, in a mentor, in a program, in a mastermind, you're investing in yourself. This is about who you are becoming next year. The people who are going to come skyrocketing through into January are the ones that moved in December. And this was me last year. So I was like, right, it's been okay, we're doing all right. But if I invest now, and keep in mind, the actual thing that I invested in didn't start until the January. So there was no actual coaching, I wasn't having any trainings, there was nothing for me to log into, I didn't start any of the coaching. But simply making the investment, I moved like a bullet out of a gun from the second that I'd invested, because all of a sudden I'd given my brain that activation of, we're playing at this level now. So what actions and behaviors and routines were acceptable here are no longer acceptable in where we're going, because we're playing at this level. So here is how we're going to move differently. So simply investing at a higher level that is going to stretch you and make you fucking go. And the energy uplift that you do when you get that alone can make December your biggest month ever. Your decision to play at a higher level. Your decision to be like, I'm all in and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, to show my nervous system that we are going, that we are moving. So that's step one, is invest at a point that is going to get you out of your comfort zone. Because if you continue to stay in your comfort zone, you're going to continue to get the results that you've got. We're talking about making December your best month ever. So you are going to be for your 2024 self now. Move as her now. Hey Phoebe! Start making decisions as her now. Get yourself in the room with people that are going to encourage you, stretch you, activate you, make you move at a higher level of the version of you that you've been operating at up until now. So that's step one, investing. Number two is your decision, your mindset, your who you're choosing to be. You have to decide that December absolutely can be your best month ever, and then move as that person. Because if you're letting little self-doubt, limiting beliefs, or oh yeah, it could be, but we haven't really got evidence of that. You're killing your own sales. You're killing the possibilities. You've got to shut the noise out, stay in your main character energy to be we are going. December is going to be my best month ever, and here's how I'm going to do it. It's got to be that level of confidence. You have got to go full on crazy, even if there hasn't been evidence of that until now. There doesn't need to be evidence of that. You are the evidence. You have got to be fully in your lane, just put your blinkers on, solely focused on where you're going, and then playful in the possibilities that can happen for you. What if this is my best month ever? What if I signed 3 clients today? What if I sold out my high ticket program? What if I launched an offer on Christmas Eve and 5 people bought? Yeah? Play in this energy of anything is possible for you once you actually back yourself. So there's that. So we've talked about investing. We've talked about you backing yourself all the way home. Then let's get on to the strategy. So I covered a few strategy pieces, but if you're trying to make December your biggest month ever, publicly, what are you speaking about? So in your marketing, in your social media content, what offer are you selling? What is the clear transformation for people? What are they going to get? How soon can they get it? Because people buy speed and convenience. So how soon can they experience this result? Be marketing something publicly that is your highest ticket offer. Make it very clear. When can they start working with you? When can they start getting results? How soon can they book in? How many slots do you have? All of this sort of stuff. What I would also be doing is with the community or relationships that you've got behind the scenes. If you know you've got an offer that would be a good fit for someone, go behind the scenes to be selling something else. Just because you're selling offer one or your main offer publicly doesn't stop you going behind the scenes to be having one-on-one conversations with people that you know would be a good fit for an offer. So there's a little strategy, is publicly be selling one thing, behind the scenes selling something else, obviously to people who'd be a good fit for that offer. You can be using things like if your rates are changing at the end of 2023 and increasing for 2024, perfect time to sign a high volume of clients now before the new year's coming. This is how people make December their biggest month ever. You have got, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? And you might have seen my post yesterday. Do not listen to anyone that says December is going to be a slow month. It might be a slow month for them because they choose to slow down. December is the biggest month in any business calendar, unless they're unless they're a business that shuts down for December, in which case, snooze you lose. Quarter 4, and December especially, is such a high spend month across all consumer spending. I've mentioned this before, but I used to work at Costa Coffee, and over the 8 weeks of Christmas, they used to do 50% of their entire year's revenue in 8 weeks, in the 8 weeks of Christmas. And let me tell you, that coffee shop was packed out all day, every day. And yet 50% of the whole year's revenue would be done 4 weeks either side of Christmas. So I don't want to hear anybody talking about December being slow season, because I'm just laughing. It's absolutely not. So don't listen to any people who tell you that. If they're choosing to slow down, that's on them. But you and I know that people will be scrolling more over Christmas. They will be. They'll be sat in their living room, listening to my post yesterday, sat on the couch, listening to Auntie Betty waffle on about her dog's left foot. People are bored and they're full of food. They've overindulged, probably drank a bit too much wine, and they're sat on the couch just like in and out of naps. They're on their phone scrolling. December can be your biggest month because not only are you selling your usual programs, your high ticket offers, things that are coming out in 2024, but you've also got a level of people that are actually on their phones more because they're not working or because they're not spending as much time with clients, or they've actually got more time to either promote their offers or be binging other people's offers. Also, speaking as myself as like a single girl, I buy myself things for Christmas every year because I'm like, I buy the best Christmas presents for me. So here's a little insider. Speak to the people who buy themselves presents. There you go. People are actively looking all throughout Christmas, throughout New Year, throughout the early year. Yeah, early part of New Year. So make sure that you are constantly speaking to people. If you want to make December your biggest month ever, there are people who are going to be scrolling on their phone throughout the holidays period. So don't have this as your time to be like, oh, I'm going to slow down, I'm going to switch off. Like, this is your time where you're going to have probably maximum visibility. I'd almost go as far as saying, I'd be willing to bet that your story views get higher over the Christmas period. I said it. So make sure you are leveraging that time. If you know you're going to get, even if you log on for one day and like, I wouldn't ever say like ghost your Instagram, but if you choose to just have a day for yourself and then a day where you're just like, right, I'm going to go hammer marketing, know that your story views will be higher from all the people that are sat around. Keep in mind as well, Christmas shopping, like Boxing Day sales, early New Year sales, people are on their phone waiting for these sales to go live to buy from shops that like they've been waiting for I used to do this with Michael Kors heels. I'd be waiting to be like, when are the Boxing Day sales? Let me go and buy a load of shoes I'm probably never going to wear, but I just like to have in my collection. That was me. So you've got people online waiting for all the sales to go mad. They are on their phones, they are shopping, they are spending. So make sure that when you're using your programs, hey Sophie, when you're selling your programs, when you're selling your offers, be really clear, like what is the urgency? Why should they book now? So in your December sales strategy, recapping for the people who have just joined, number one, invest in a place that is going to stretch you. If you only do the things you've already been doing and coasting along, you will continue to coast along and getting the results that you've already been getting. We're talking about making this your biggest month ever, in which case you're going to need to play at a higher level. If you want to play at a higher level, you need to get yourself in the next ball court alone. You need to get yourself with a coach that's going to stretch you. You continue to stay in this, you'll continue to play at level 2, level 3. Yes, invest higher, but you get better results. It's the way it works. So invest, get yourself in the mindset of, what if this was my best month ever? Look at the actual math behind it. If I was going to make this my best month ever, what would it make sense to sell in this month? Which of my offers are like, does it make more sense? Either can I be pre-booking for 2024? Have I got a certain number of slots left in your program? Or think about your highest ticket offer and the one that you could hit your goal in as few steps as possible. If you've got like a £500 program, for example, and you want to hit 20k, you're going to have to sell, I don't even know, 20? 40. You're going to have to sell 40 of that course to get to your sales goal. Whereas if you are launching a program that is 2k, for example, we've only got 10. Think about as few steps as possible to get you to your goal. Then get around people who are doing the same thing as you. Again, can't be expecting results if you just carry on coasting, doing the things that you've been doing. Get in the room where people who are playing at a high level, who are going for gold, who are like, yes, December's going to be incredible. Here's what I'm doing. And they're making moves daily. I would encourage you to get around people who are taking such big action, it makes you uncomfortable, because watch how you're going to move. This is how you make December absolutely incredible. You get yourself uncomfortable, and then you like physically have given the message to your body, to your nervous system of, we're doing things differently. You're getting outside of your comfort zone. Yeah, it's going to feel a little bit like, whoa, what are we doing? Good. When was the last time you had that feeling? If you haven't had that feeling in a while, it's because you're not playing at the edge of your comfort zone, and this is why you haven't had the results that you want yet. Some people are going to be like, Sarah! But I'm in the business of helping you to have the best month ever. I want this for you, but you have to want it for you too. So, invest, energy, self-belief, main character energy. Just play at the level of what would I need to sell, to how many clients, what makes sense now in terms of serving my community, where are they at now, how could I serve people in a way that would really benefit this community, what do they need? And hey, maybe this looks like a pop-up offer for December. This doesn't have to be your existing signature offer. Obviously can be if you've already got all the stuff in place, but maybe there's something that you can create which would be a really fun December only offer. Maybe that's something you do as well as your signature offer. Again, you don't have to stick to one strategy. This should be, have a whole goddamn party throughout December. Why not? When you worked in the office in corporate, you would have had like endless Christmas parties, no doubt, between like friends and work colleagues and all of that. Now that you're a business owner, and you don't get the Christmas party unless it's you throwing it for yourself, so have a Christmas party with your clients online every single day. Be selling something every single day. And the way to make it fun is either to do a unique twist on your existing signature offer or to offer something that you've never offered before and it's a December only offer. God, the things that are coming out in this live. I'm giving you a lot of ideas here. So you can absolutely make December your biggest month ever. And yes, there's going to be strategy involved, whether that's pricing, whether that's your offers, whether that's the urgency that you're adding, whether that's what you're doing behind the scenes as well as up front. But what I really, really want to hammer home is the biggest thing that's going to determine whether December is your biggest month ever is your self-belief, I am going to go for gold. It's your main character energy. I'm going to play at Delulu level. I'm going to see what is possible for me when I go all out. It's your commitment to yourself. So you have absolutely got this. This is your morning pep talk, depending on where you are. If you're in Bali, it's the afternoon. If it's in the UK, it's morning. If you're in the US and listening to this, welcome. Do your morning motivation talk. Go and take action after you have listened to this, whether you're listening live, whether you're watching on the replay. Go and take action. You have absolutely got the ability, hey Mariette, to make December your biggest month ever between your self-belief and your commitment that it's going to be, the action that you take as a result, and the people that you get around who are going to be that fire for you so that you can plug in daily and be like, yes, yes, yes. Your cheer squad. Get around people, whether that's a coach, whether it's joining a group, a mastermind, when you get yourself into a space of people who cheer for you so that you can have that morning check-in. Even if it's, guys, I'm having my morning coffee this morning and here's how I'm going to kill it today. That is such an energizing, that is your caffeine in the morning. Having that girl squad, your network, your accountability person, whether it's a coach, whether it's Big Bestie, go. Because when you're accountable to someone other than yourself, you move differently. And this is what I need you every morning for my miracle morning. This is my energy throughout the evening. I get to nighttime and I'm just like, I'm too excited to sleep. So if you haven't already, by the way, babe, listen to my podcast. There's lots more energy like this. I'm going to put this on the podcast after because I feel like this has been gold. But yeah, get around people who are taking big action. And I would encourage you to get around people who are taking action that either you didn't know was possible or scares the living daylights out of you. When I joined a mastermind, there were people having wins that genuinely I didn't even know were possible. So I joined and someone was like, oh my God, I've made a sale every day of this month. And I was like, what? And straight away then it made my brain think, okay, like how I told you earlier, problem solve how if you were to do that, what would you need to sell and how would you need to do it in order to have that? And so when I saw someone else having this win that I'd never even considered before, when I problem solved to be like, okay, well, what strategically would I need to be doing in order to make sales every single day of the month rather than just 5 days a month? And so obviously there was a volume of smaller but more bingeable low ticket offers. And so I brought in some of those and within, I think, so this was January where I'd seen someone's win that I didn't even think was possible. February, was it February or March? might have been March going into April, but basically the months that followed, I went on to make sales every single day of the month, sometimes multiple. I think it was June, they had 43 sales across a month, which had never happened before. And had I have not joined a space that activated me, or that I even knew that that was possible, I might have just carried on selling high ticket offers. Now, of course, you're listening to this, I'm going to tell you to focus on your high ticket offers. But this is where when you get around people who are doing fun things, either pop-up things or just things that you hadn't even considered as possibilities, you play differently. So whether it's checking in with me, listening to the podcast and being like, I need some Sarah's energy in my life, message me after. Let's see what we can do for you. So I want to help you to make December your biggest month ever. From last December, I made an investment on the 3rd. Again, we didn't start it until a week into January, but just from the energy of making that investment, I moved through December and it went to be my highest month ever at that day, because I was just like, go, 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 go. What could be possible? And let me, build towards my 2024. Honestly, it's because I was trying to get into the same level as the people who were already in the room that I'd invested in. I was like, girl, we need to play bigger. Let's go do it. And this is what I mean. Get into a space that's going to stretch you and watch how you move differently when you do. So I know this has been valuable, juicy, exciting. God, if I listened to this in the morning, I'd be like, good God, this woman. So look, I've got my little coffee in a jar that's just arrived from my man on a Gojek bike, which is similar to Uber, arrived bringing me my lunch and my little afternoon coffee. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Little recap for you. Invest at a place that's going to stretch you. Get in the room with people or conversations that are going to encourage you to play bigger, and use that as your inspiration. Get uncomfortable, choose discomfort, because you're going to have to play at a level you've never played if you want to get results that you've never had. Hey, Leonie! So, and then on a strategic level, literally do the math. Good old pen and paper, shut the screens off, and just be in your business for a second to be like, let me look at my high ticket offers. What makes sense? What do my audience love? What do they love to binge? What makes sense for where I'm at now? Whether that's in this month, whether that's what you've got coming up this quarter, whether you can be pre-selling in advance. Are your prices changing? Is your availability changing? Are you looking to bring something out now in February that it makes sense to sell X number of spots for here? Think logistically. And then bring that urgency, use countdown timers, tell people when have they got to make a decision by in order to get this result or be part of this thing. Whether it's the Christmas close, whether it's Santa's coming to town, whether it's sexy sales season, whether it's like 2023 prices are ending. I don't care whether you do a new year, new me bonus. Whatever you want, honey. This is your season to play, to have fun, and literally just go all out on social media. This is your season to literally blow your own mind with what is possible. Wow! I'm enjoying this so much. So if you've enjoyed this, leave me some love. If you're watching on the replay, send me a comment. But if you're like, right, how can I get in Sarah's world? You can either join the membership. We've actually got a call today, which is Sold Out Society, or come on board for Sold Out Sales Academy. So the doors are open now until next Thursday. This is for you if you're floating through those sort of lower months and you're just like, I know that I'm capable of more. Whether that's higher ticket clients, higher level clients, a higher frequency or volume of clients, or you're looking to build that momentum by creating this content that bangs and makes you stand out in the crowd, so that once you've got that momentum, you can be bringing out your course, your group program, using that momentum to ride the wave and then really scaling your business, your income and your impact from there. This is my 3-month accelerator for coaches and service providers. We're enrolling now, and then doors close on Thursday, 21st of December, and we start first week back in the new year. So super excited for that. And if you're listening to this after the 31st, you might have already missed the boat for SOSA, but you can join in the membership, Sold Out Society. The doors are open for that all of the time, and you can come in, binge the training. So I hope that you enjoyed this live, my loves, and I shall speak to you very soon. Toodaloo!